my people. Greetings, my people. Today is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. The time is 11:30 on the dot a.m. And I typed this one. Brat almost got JD deleted, but I thought Jermaine Dupri was her man. And also, if you see from my thumbnail, can you really sell your soul? And this is kind of like not that old, but probably like a week or two old. Remember the conversation around Terrence Crawford, Channing Crowder on the pivot, and Channing Crowder basically tells Bud Crawford, everything got a price, and for X amount of dollars, you can have his soul. Let me go back and find that clip.
Everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
No, because now you selling your soul.
$100 million, you can have my soul.
That's you. Now we know your character. Sometimes, you look at people and you be like, dang, man, you ain't got no dignity. You ain't got no morals. Like, come on, man. Like, what you gonna stand for if everything is about money? Like, I never was in a sport because of money, Of course, I was in a sport to make money, but I wanted to be a world champion. I wanted to do something that I set my sights out to do as a little boy. Money wasn't the motivation. Me being a world champion was the motivation. Me accomplishing all the things that I've accomplished along the way on my journey, it was extra credit. It was extra credit because it was coming from the hood. It was like, man, I just want to be a world champion because that's just my dream. So when I became a world champion, it was just like, man, all this other stuff is like a cherry on the top. Like, you know what I mean? I did what I set my sights out to do. It was evident that I wasn't gonna let nothing stand in the way of me accomplishing that goal in my life. My mom.
Now, let me go back to that part one more time.
My thought is everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
No, because now you selling your soul.
$100 million, you can have my soul.
That's you.
$100 million, you can have my soul. Right? Okay, so we asking, can you really sell your soul? So that clip right there took a life of its own. I even did a reaction to it on my page here. It's in my shorts if you want to listen to it. Now, this was his rebuttal. This was Channing Crowder and the Pivots rebuttal to that.
Ever heard of or used?
Of course, we gotta wait till
you
we
should definitely
got these
try
commercials.
this. Just look at that. This is my current full coverage rate.
The CAG stuff. You go, Chan, man, you went viral again, man. You great at it. I mean, Kevin Hart, the CAG stuff. You going viral a lot, man. This time, though, it was because you said you'd sell your soul for $100 million, which I know you didn't literally mean.
Yes.
That. And Bud was like, hey, well, now we know your character. And people definitely saw that a certain way, right? As like, this is one man who is standing on the fact that you're not capable of purchasing him. And it's another man that's like, for the right price, I can be bought.
Everything got a price.
What is your, I guess, response to some of the things people are saying about the clip?
Yeah, first, if everybody knows it's a jest. Sell your soul. Honestly, what's a soul?
Now, that's a key component right there. What's a soul? Right? And I'm going to give my interpretation of a soul. This is mine. Everybody can have their own. To me, your spirit is your energy, your vibration, your spirit. To me, your soul is how you reason with things. Your soul is how you feel. Your soul is what makes you feel emotion, empathy, compassion. This is why I say majority of Westerners, white people, don't have it. And we can get into that in the rest of my bill. Right? That's my interpretation of what a soul is. So when he asks, what's a soul? Let's keep going.
You have an answer?
Yes.
What is it?
It depends on which one you're talking about. It could be the soul that Jesus Christ died to save, right? That is your soul. That is what is supposed to carry over into the eternal life. Your earthly soul, in my opinion, is your character.
Mm-hmm.
It's your foundations. It's your morals, right? If you say to me, you'll sell your soul, it's like when people say, oh, they sold their soul so they can win a Grammy. They sold their soul so they can win a Super Bowl. It's like there's nothing left of you of substance after you achieve this one thing in which you gave everything, you gave your essence in order to have.
And that's what
I can and from Ryan's perspective, I can kind of agree with that in a sense. To me, once you have sold it, especially when we're talking like on a celebrity stature level, you're a puppet. You're Pinocchio. Look to this way. Look to that way. Sell this product. Sell that product. Say this. Say that. It's always the puppeteer's hand up your ass, and you're just a shell now for the operator to control. Right? Does that make sense? And so here's the whole thing about it. Like when we do this whole thing, and I'm gonna get back to them. You know, and they would always have this saying I used to hear. The devil's greatest trick was what? Convincing the world that you don't exist. So that's why when we get into the whole Illuminati thing, and I'm a disciple of the Honorable Banana Steve Coakley, right? And Steve Coakley would always say, when you use this term Illuminati, it's like a phantom. It's like just this thing. It's it's kind of abstract. I'll say it like that. And when we think about them, like we say, well, they sold their soul to the Illuminati. They sold their soul for this. I think, and even in B.O.B.'s song, Summer's Day, from his one of his 5 albums, Elements, he has a song, and that's a deep album for messages, right? He has this song called Summer Day, and I would play it, but the way I'm learning YouTube, they strike you for music. And he says, when they say they sell their soul, it's not a metaphor. Man, when they say they sell their soul, it's not a metaphor. So what I notice are like a lot of these things, keeping in the theme of what I just said, the devil convinces you he doesn't exist, or it doesn't exist, right? Because I also think that the devil is many different things per se, right? But when we get into this whole quote unquote Illuminati, when we get into these rituals, these sex parties, all these things, notice when they talk about it, they always say, well, I wasn't there. I didn't see these things when I was there. You know, it's like I was at a party, but I didn't really see that. I wasn't there, but I was there, kind of type energy, right? Well, I've seen Shay Shay do it all the time. I've seen Shay Shay when he did it during the Marlon Wayans interview. I've seen people like 2 Chainz do it. They always kind of throw you off from saying that you're in these circles, right? And I'm not saying 2 Chainz did or didn't sell his soul, right? But what I'm saying is giving you examples of, in my interpretation of how the process goes, the section they hang in, right? But let's continue.
the Christian soul, religious soul, that doesn't have a price. But you see about the Illuminati stuff you hear about, I'm going to bring up celebrities that they sold their soul for money. They sold out of what they're supposed to be. Like, that's why I started saying, like, now I started getting deep when people were texting me, hit me. And I don't do social media, but people text me like, yeah, sending me clips of all this stuff. My point was that Bud Crawford's about to go fight. He don't have to sell his soul to fight. What's he, 42-0? Mm-hmm. He's going to have a 43rd fight. And when the number gets high enough, he's going to do it. And I want everybody to apologize to me. That's what I want. I'm going to say it right now. Everybody that criticized me in 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is, if somebody offers Bud that sack and he goes back in that ring and starts boxing, y'all say, Crowder, I'm sorry. I apologize to you because you were right. You don't have to sell your soul. With $100 million, I'll fight a giraffe, a lion, a tiger, a penguin at the same time. $100 million.
Right.
That's a lot of money. That's life-changing generation. What we talk about with so many other people. I was saying that there's a price on him getting back in the ring, not selling your soul that Christ gave me and all. And I'm glad that you articulated because that's what people were saying.
He definitely said for $1 million you can have my soul, right? He said for $100 million you can have it. Now he's trying to backtrack. And now I do agree with the point of Bud got to stand on what he said of not fighting again. I do agree with that part, right? I agree with that. But the original context was for X amount of dollars, you can have my soul. And that's when Bud said, well, now we know your character. I will sell myself to you. Listen at the things he say, I'll do this for $100 million. I'll do this. I'll do that. There's no limit to what you would do for money. This is the part of like selling yourself, right?
Oh, he was the devil now. I'm not gonna be the devil for $100 million. I go slap me a bitch in the face for $100 million. Like, what are y'all talking about?
You see, he'll go slap him a B in the face for $100 million. Now notice they never say, man, for $100 million, I'll challenge my oppressor. For $100 million, I'll walk up to this white boy and do this. Or I'll walk up to this Jew or this small hat and do this. It's always doing something or hurting somebody that's in a lesser position from you. I'll fight this or in an embarrassing thing. I'll do whatever I need to do for that money. And that was the part. That was the part. See, he's so busy trying to explain it, and you got a bunch of meatheads, because that's all these jocks really are a bunch of meatheads and puppeteers. Or not puppeteers. And he's basically saying right there, for $100 million, I will do anything. And I somewhat agree, but I don't agree with everything have a price, right? He said, everything have a price. Now, this is how it started. And I'm paraphrasing him on this, not a direct quote. $100, let me buy your dog. No. $1,000, let me buy your dog. No. $100,000, let me buy your dog. Here you go. So what he's saying, for some people, this is why we'll put that disclaimer on. For some people, yes, they have a price. For some people, if you keep upping that ante, you're gonna eventually get them to do what you want them to do. That was his point. I can see somewhat of that. But what he can't see is that some people can't be bought. Right? He can't fathom somebody not having a price because he has a price. X amount of dollars, you offer Channing Crowder enough money, you can get him to do whatever he wants him to do. Whether they want him to engage in smacks with the same sex. And I'm not saying Channing does these things, but when you say, yo, I be your nasty dancer, your private dancer, I'll be your 304, just make that price good enough. You leave yourself open for speculation and people saying, yo, well, shit, what? The question is not what will you do, what won't you do? So you really kind of come across as you like this immoral person, or you can just be easily swayed. You can be easily bought. They can make you do whatever. What would you do for some paper? And that is why we are so confused as a people, because we are the easily bought. Right? This is why I did a live a couple of probably like a month or so ago, and I was saying black males are the most easily bought. That's not saying other males can't be bought and you can't make them, but we constantly see our people. I'm not talking about the ladies, but I'm gonna say the males. You always see them in positions to where they will do whatever and say whatever. They will sell you Coke and tell you Coca-Cola is the best thing they ever tasted, and they can live their life without Coca-Cola, right? Let that number change. Now they up here singing the tune of Pepsi. So you almost a slut for this money. You can be easily gutted out for some money, right? This is why we see Trump buying young men like NBA YoungBoy. This is why we see him buying males like Nelly. Make Nelly say he don't even live in a Klan country. Nelly don't even know where he lives. He's been in Nellyville for so long, he don't even understand reality anymore. Because they dangle that carrot or that dollar in front of his face, right? So can you sell your soul? Yes, in my opinion. Now, what did I mean in this when I said the Brat almost got Jermaine Dupri deleted? What did I mean when I said the Brat almost got Jermaine Dupri deleted? And this came off of a Breakfast Club interview. The Brat was on the Breakfast Club, and they began to talk about it. And let me find it. Okay, right here. Gotta wait for that.
Most people
listen
stop here
carefully.
for and drink. That's it.
Listen carefully.
And he talks about the time you almost got him killed.
Oh, when you kidnap Mariah?
When you kidnap Mariah Carey.
So what? If he died, he died.
No, he took us to her house. I think we were filming a video, and or either we just went. I think we filmed. I can't remember, but we went there a few times. When she came out, I think this was my first time meeting her. We was hanging out. She was super cool. We instantly had chemistry in jail, and we was laughing about shit, cracking jokes on people. Like, it was just like we had knew each other forever. So she was showing me around the house, and she was telling me, shh, because in some rooms, like the closet, in certain places, they had microphones in the wall. So she would tell me, when is a good time to talk.
Now, hang on. Now, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what the Brat is saying carefully. You run that back.
And when it was not or whatever. So, around the house. And she was telling me, shh, because in some rooms, like the closet, in certain places, they had microphones in the wall. So she would tell me, when is a good time to talk about shit and when it was not or whatever. So, she showed me her cars, and it was like 15 cars in the garage. Now, mind you, I ain't never seen this type of shit before. I just been to JD house and seen his riches. I ain't seen shit else. So I'm at Mariah's house, who lived next door to Ralph Lauren, with Tommy Mottola. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so she had a...
Now, Tommy Mottola is a key figure in this. Never forget what Michael Jackson said about Tommy Mottola, right? But I'm going to keep going. Tommy Mottola is a key figure in this.
Fucking cars in the garage. And I'm like, whose cars is these? She was like, they mine. I said, well, bitch, let's go. I said, what's near here? And she was like, there's a Burger King. I was like, let's go get some fries. So we get in the car.
What car now?
I think it was a Cadillac. It was like a pink, old school pink Cadillac. Everything was shined up and brand new. No scratches. It was just clean. I was like, oh my God, in heaven. So we get out. She never told me she don't drive, but she never really drove the cars. Tommy, I guess, just bought them for her. Mm-hmm. So they just sit there. So we in the car, we ride, and she drive, and I'm chilling. I'm like, yes, I'm having a good time. We playing music. And then all of a sudden, my phone started blowing up. I think we had the Skytails or something back then. And JD was like, get back here right now, Brad. I don't know what y'all do, but you need to get back here. They need you back right now. I'm like, nigga, no. We going to Burger King up the street. What is wrong with you? We going a mile up the street to Burger King. So I see you when I see you, nigga, when I get back. He kept blowing me up like, Brad, no, you don't understand. I need you to get back. I didn't know they had the guns out where JD was at, making him tell me to get her back here. I'm like, it ain't me that was going. Mariah wanted to go too. She the one that drove. So yeah, that's what happened.
So Mariah people's like
it's Tommy Mottola.
They were kidnapping Mariah. So did y'all get the Burger King?
Yeah, we got to Burger King and got them fries. But when we came back, they took her away, and I was like, oh my God, I felt like she was in trouble. Like Tommy Mottola, she was really like a princess in the castle. Like it was like, on Shrek when the princess Fiona was in the castle and could not, and honestly, when we was in that house, anytime she would laugh, anytime she would look like she was having fun, security would come get her. Like it was a horrible but good experience for me. But I hated seeing her like that. But I think in a lot of ways, when we talked this stuff, she got to vent and express herself. We both are Aries. We both are eternally 12. You know what I'm saying? We started to send the helicopter and stuff, and we to go to Disney World and just fly one ride and come back just to like relax and stuff. Like she was really like trapped in that relationship, and it was horrible. Like I had never. We ate the fries on the way. Yeah, on the way back. Okay, we had them in the car.
Okay. Now, let's unpack this. She said, that was Tommy Mottola. Mariah Carey wasn't even allowed to go a mile up the street without supervision. Did you hear the part where she said they had microphones in the wall and you had to say certain things? This is what I mean being a prisoner of fame. This is what I don't like about the direction and how the young ladies are being misled of getting them a rich man. Now letting on a rich white boy. Right? And he said she could, every time they would even do something as simple as laugh, security would come in. So when you think back and you look at like Mariah Carey having all these breakdowns, when you look at it and when you really go back and you think and you analyze, because I grew up in this era. I remember Mariah Carey when she came on the scene, I was a young man. Right? So everything Hollywood sells you is an illusion. The lifestyle, all those cars, she's not even driving them. And that's the thing that the devil does, or that devil energy does, it entices you. So we see this life, or we see this lifestyle, and we see all them cars. And it's a total classism thing, right? Because average people are living either in middle class, which there is no more now, in middle class or low class, right? And so like she said, the Brat was on the scene and she said she had never seen anything like this. Right? So that kind of mesmerizes people. And they said they had the things drawn down on JD, like what's going on? Are you trying to help her escape? Because she was a prisoner. Now, remember what MJ always said about Tommy Mottola. Michael Jackson told you about Tommy Mottola, and this is one of the reasons why Cat Williams is my favorite comedian right now. But this is why I always have an issue with Cat Williams, with the way he got up on stage and he disrespected Michael Jackson. And he got up on stage and he insinuated that Michael Jackson messed with those little boys. Right? I always felt Cat Williams was off and severely wrong about this situation. Right? But let's remember, when I said Tommy Mottola is a key figure in this.
To publish your book,
we gotta wait till the commercial.
Reach 3 billion more readers. If you've written a book and
let me just say this. The tradition of great performers and I really want you to hear what I have to say. The tradition of great performers from Sammy Davis Jr. to James Brown to Jackie Wilson to Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly. The story is usually the same though. These guys work really hard at their craft, but the story ends the same because the companies take advantage of them. They really do. And Um, um, Sony, being being the artist that I am, at Sony, I generated several $billion for Sony, several billion, and they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer myself would outthink them.
Yeah.
So we can't let them get away with what they're trying to do because now I'm a free agent. I just owe Sony one more
He was free.
album. It's just a box set, really. It's with 2 new songs which I've written ages ago. Because
And Mike was really popping his shit. Mike had defeated them. And he was like, yo, it's a box set. I can really throw them something. Right? We have to understand, we have to learn to listen to what people are saying and not just hear what they're saying.
that I record, I write like literally. I'm telling you the truth. I write at least 120 songs every album I do. So I can do the box set, just give them any 2 songs. So I'm leaving Sony a free agent of owning half of Sony. So
he left with half of theirs. He left with half of Sony. Mm-hmm.
I own half of Sony's, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, you know.
Tell him, Michael. Tell the story.
But so the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album. But I've always said, you know, good art never dies. Thank you. I love Unbreakable. You know, and Tommy Mottola is a double. I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say right now, but I have to let you in on the secret. You know, and Tommy Mottola is a double. I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say right now, but I have to let you in on the secret.
Say it.
Please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Turn that off, please. No, I don't mind. Take it.
And he should have went with that first mind. He should have went with that first mind, but he was already a marked man then because he defeated them. He defeated them.
Michael is getting gangsta
Mariah Carey, after divorce time, came to me crying. She was crying so bad I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil, and she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being. And we have to continue our drive until he's terminated. Oh! There you go! We can't allow him to do this to great artistry. We just can't. I just want you to know I appreciate everything you've done. You've been amazing. You're so.
And that was, in a nutshell. You see how that full circle back around? So when you got people, this is why you got to be careful, Channing Crowder. But Channing Crowder is a meathead. He's a meathead that can't understand nothing outside of the tip of his nose. So they're always saying, so when we like, yo, the devil don't exist. Yo, the devil is this. And also in that B.O.B. song, he said if Satan had a house, it'd be in Hollywood. Right? See, we got to stop being in a hurry to dismiss something because of what we think we know and listen and watch the pieces on the board. See, Diddy, in my opinion, Diddy was just a pawn. The top dog is always going to be the diabolical small hat or Jew or the diabolical white boy. So you always going to have Clive Davis. We watched Clive Davis continue to party while Whitney Houston laid upstairs on the line, deceased. So, and this is why I try to get y'all to understand behavior modification, social engineering, all of these things, propaganda. Because once you really understand how they pull the wires and make you think what they want you to think or make you not think what they don't want you to think. So you buy into it, because see, here's the thing. This, again, I'm going to loop it back to your soul. Your soul, if your soul intact and is true, you have great discernment. You have great discernment. So there's a difference when you put a Donald Trump in these Epstein files, or you put a Jeffrey Epstein, or you put one that's notorious, a white boy named Jimmy Salvey. Look up him. Look up the Franklin cover-up or the Franklin scandal. You want to always say, they always want to say, well, what about Hugh Hefner? See, these are surface level ones. These are the ones they want you to know about. They even said Jimmy Salvey was into the whole necrophilia thing. Allegedly. That's what they say, not me. Said he was into the whole necrophilia thing, that he liked to get off to dead bodies. Then when you watch the Franklin scandal or the Franklin cover-up, you really understand how these white boys move. But that don't mean us as black people let black pedos get away. No, that ain't what that means. That don't mean because they're able to get away with doing it. We say, well, you know, y'all go hard on them, but y'all ain't mentioning the Epsteins. We mention all of it. We mention all of it. That's why I don't have no love for no R. Kelly. Don't you get in my face talking about we got to have mercy for R. Kelly. Once you violate a child, I don't have no mercy for you. I don't care nothing about your music. I don't care nothing about your ability to play no sports or entertain. So in the beginning, when I said, you know, majority of white people, I'm gonna say white people don't have souls. Because when I read to you out of 100 years of lynching, and they talked about how they lynched a black man that was just simply trying to catch a trolley or a train car, and he accidentally bumped into a white girl, and she screamed bloody murder, and they snatched him up and they lynched him, and they didn't stop there. They took pictures of his dead body and sold them as greeting postcards. Now you tell me of people that are emotionally in tune and have compassion that do something like that. You tell me somebody that can feel empathy would do something like that. But I expect them to get in my comments and tell me stuff because it's always attacking how they feel. They don't want you to see them in a certain way while they want to constantly project you in a certain light. And that's what they constantly did to Michael Jackson. Wacko Jacko. He wasn't no wacko. In my opinion, him disfiguring himself Him bleaching his skin or whatever he did to lighten his skin was self-hate. He didn't love himself. Because he had been pimped and used ever since he was a child. His innocence was stripped from him. His childhood was stripped from him. And Cat Williams get his ass on stage and degrade him. And when you listen to people like Aaron Carter tells you time after time, he didn't do anything to us. Macaulay Culkin can tell you time after. It's funny y'all believe the white boy and the white girl when it's convenient. Macaulay Culkin told you time and time again, Michael Jackson. Emmanuel Lewis told you. But it's the same thing like they did with Michael Jordan, with that him brushing that white boy, that young white boy. And it's funny with my people, you always want to, because you buy into the ultimate bipolar or schizo mindset, right? So when it's people that you like, you protect them. They could be on a video and the first thing you say, where the parents? Well, where was the parents with the whole Michael Jordan situation? The daddy was right there. You constantly ask, where the parents with R. Kelly? And then you convict and call Michael Jordan these things and say, well, okay, where the parents? The dad was right there. The dad came out and said, it ain't that type of party. No, Mike ain't on that. But you still want to go with your narrative. Because your scales ain't balanced. You're not about truth. You're about situational truth. The truth is situational when it's somebody you like or you don't. This is why you can see empathy for R. Kelly. This is why you can see empathy for Diddy and say, don't kick a man while he's down, but he kicked a woman while she was down. Can you sell your soul? Absolutely. There was an old movie with Ralph Macchio and I think the OG actor named John Cicana called Crossroads. That's an old 80s movie. And I remember my grandma and I remember my moms and my fam watching this movie when I was a kid. So as I grew up and I watched the movie from my adult eyes, it was about him making a deal with the devil. How many times can they tell you this story and you say, man, that ain't real, you know? It's about 6 protons, 6 neutrons, electrons. We are carbon melanated beings and the devil doesn't exist in cocky dookie dookie prestidigitation. Fuck out of here. I'm even inclined to believe, in my opinion, that if you listen to soulless people long enough, you'll start to void out your soul. You'll start to void out your emotions. You'll start to void out things that really make you what you are, compassion. That's why I understand racism through and through, but I could never sit here and laugh at Mexicans and quote unquote immigrants being thrown into cages, being degraded and humiliated. I could never delight in seeing that happen to children. You get what I'm saying? But when it comes to white oppression and white oppression, I still don't want to see no children violated. But I'm way less compassionate to them because they are always the devils. They're always the most violent. They're always the ones, and they come into my life always talking about all I hear is victims. All I hear is victims because they're always victimizing the world. Animals didn't become extinct until them. And this is why I hate this. Before I land my plane and get up out of here, this is why I hate certain things, right? This is why I hate when I see these divestors and I see these young sisters that's misguided and they looking for white zaddy. And he can do them like a Sade Robinson. He can do them like countless others where they go on a date with them and they never seen again and they dismember them. And that's why I wish my sisters would would come up on just character just a little bit. Just come up on character just a little bit. But see, we do this kind of word association with kindness, understanding, intelligent, faithful. We automatically assume that to be degenerate or ugly or lower. Right? So I've seen several chicks, and one sister I absolutely love her mind. And you know, her take was about Keke Palmer talking about like when wealthy men or men with money get women that are lower on a lower tax bracket or lower pay grade, however you want to say that. It's nothing said. But when women get date down, we'll say that when women or females decide to date down, it's a problem. And then the psyche of the women, you know, because they automatically assume. The only thing I don't like is the imbalance. You think because you got a dude that don't have the type of money or don't have money, you automatically assume he's a detriment or disastrous to your life or he puts you in danger. You gotta weigh it on the scales. This is why I don't like when people are saying making videos and making content and saying, men are tired of black women's behavior. Black men are waking up to this. We are tired of each other. I think when you raise yourself up in your vibration and your frequency, you're tired of low frequency. The same thing, the sisters are tired of the same things the men are tired of. I just hate when we're acting like one side is just always the most oppressed or acting or declaring for world peace, and it's just the big bad black men that just won't do right. Or it's the big bad black women that just, you know, we are a conditioned people. We're not even conditioned to understand love, protection, real communication. Because we've been functioning off this degenerate stuff. And we've been socialized in it for generations. Well, that's how my mama taught. Well, that's how my daddy taught. Well, that's how my auntie taught. My auntie taught me everything. Social learning theory. Right? But I just wanted to drop something real quick. Hit in my comments and let me know what you think. I really appreciate everybody that makes my videos and watch my videos. Like, I'm always one of the most appreciative people. Right? Because I come and I just share myself. And I remember when I wasn't even doing lives, I would do a live every 5 months or 6 months or something. And now I'm trying to share, you know, just my thoughts, my gift, my understanding with the world. If you got a light, shine it. If you got a light, shine it. If you got beautiful people in your life, love them. If you got good friends in your life, be a friend to them. Stop this half-ass stuff. Stop this imbalanced stuff. Stop this egotistical. But they don't call me, so I don't call them. Have discernment. Know when you got good people in your life. Stop listening to all these toxic creators that want to paint everybody in the same light. That's the shit that sells. My stuff probably won't hit 1 million views because I'm not trying to sell you deception. Just a regular black man that's using my voice for good. You do the same. Peace.